The Legend and the Takeoff. The year was 1937. An era of daring pioneers and silver wings. Emilia Earhart was already a global icon. The first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. But she wanted more. She wanted the world. She set out to become the first woman to circumnavigate the globe. But as she crossed the vast Pacific, she vanished into thin air. Welcome to the Lost Ether. Today, we fly into the greatest aviation mystery in history. The disappearance of Emilia Earhart. The machine and the navigator. Emilia wasn't alone. She was flying a Lockheed Electra 10E, a twin-engine silver beast, filled with extra fuel tanks for the long ocean legs. Beside her was Fred Noonan, a brilliant but troubled navigator, who relied on the stars and a sextant to find tiny islands in a massive ocean. On July 2, 1937, they took off from Lai, New Guinea, heading for Howland Island, a tiny speck of land, only 2 miles long. Scene 3, the ghostly radio calls. As the Electra approached the area, the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Itasca was waiting to guide them in. But communication was a disaster. Earhart could hear the ship, but the ship couldn't hear her clearly. At 7:42 a.m., her voice crackled over the radio. "We must be on you, but cannot see you. But gas is running low." 1 hour later, her final famous transmission came through. "We are running on the line. 157, 337. We are flying north and south." Then, silence. The most expensive search in history. President Franklin D. Roosevelt authorized a massive search, involving 9 naval ships and 66 aircraft. For 2 weeks, they scoured 250,000 square miles of ocean. They found nothing. No oil slicks. No wreckage. No trace of the silver Electra. How could a massive plane simply disappear without a single clue? Scene 5, Theory 1, the crash and sink. The most widely accepted theory by experts is the crash and sink theory. Navigation was difficult. The weather was cloudy. And Howland Island was easy to miss. If they ran out of fuel, the Electra would have ditched into the deep Pacific, sinking thousands of feet to the ocean floor. In recent years, high-tech underwater drones have scanned the seabed, finding shapes that look like aircraft. But the ocean is deep, and the truth is buried under miles of water. Theory 2, the Nikumaroro castaways. But there is another story, a darker one. Some researchers believe Earhart didn't crash into the sea, but landed on a reef at Gardner Island, now known as Nikumaroro. For days after the disappearance, radio operators across the Pacific reported hearing distress calls, a woman's voice, pleading for help. Expeditions to this island found chilling artifacts, a woman's shoe from the 1930s, a jar of anti-freckle cream, and fragments of a human skeleton. Could Emilia have survived the landing, only to die as a castaway on a deserted island? Theory 3, the Japanese captivity. Then, there is the conspiracy. Some believe Earhart was a spy for the U.S. government, and that she was captured by the Japanese, who were secretly fortifying islands in the Pacific. Eyewitnesses in Saipan claim to have seen a white woman in captivity, and a mysterious photo emerged showing a woman who looked like Emilia sitting on a dock. While the U.S. military denies this, the theory persists, adding a layer of international intrigue to her disappearance. The modern search and DNA. In the 21st century, the search has moved to the laboratory. Forensic scientists have tried to extract DNA from the bones found on Nikumaroro. Using modern computer modeling, they compared the bone measurements to Earhart's photos and found a remarkable match. The mystery is closer than ever to being solved. But without the plane, the case remains open. The legacy of the First Lady of the Clouds. Emilia Earhart was more than a pilot. She was a symbol of courage and the breaking of barriers. Her disappearance didn't end her story. It turned her into an eternal legend. She once said, "Adventure is worthwhile in itself." She lived by those words. And perhaps, she found her final adventure in the silence of the Pacific. Conclusion: 90 years later. We still look to the horizon, wondering where the silver Electra finally came to rest. Will we ever find the truth? Or is Emilia meant to belong to the sky forever? Thank you for watching The Lost Ether. Don't forget to subscribe and keep your eyes on the clouds, because some legends never land.